You are 24 hours into being lost. Your water bottle ran dry sometime around noon yesterday. Right now, your mouth feels like sandpaper, your head is pounding, and your legs are heavier than they should be. You keep telling yourself you'll find a trail, a road, a sign of civilization. But here is the thing nobody warns you about. Dehydration does not announce itself with a dramatic collapse. It creeps. It starts with a headache, then your thinking gets foggy. Then your decisions start getting worse at the exact moment you need them to get better. And by the time you realize how far gone you are, you may not have the strength to do anything about it. This is the silent countdown that begins the moment your water runs out. And what you do in the next few hours will determine whether you walk out of here or get carried out. The survival community talks about the rule of threes: 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter in extreme conditions, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. But that 3-day number is misleading. It is an upper estimate for a healthy adult resting in mild temperatures. If you are hiking in summer heat, sweating under a pack, or already mildly dehydrated when things go wrong, that window shrinks fast. The CDC reports that adults can lose approximately 1.5 liters of fluid per hour through sweating in extreme heat. Les Stroud, the filmmaker behind Survivorman, documented this firsthand during his Kalahari Desert episode. With sand temperatures pushing 140 degrees Fahrenheit, he developed severe headaches after just 1 day. Over 5 days, drinking a measured gallon per day for the first 4, he urinated only once. That is how aggressively the desert pulls water from your body. So before anything else, you need to understand the clock that is already ticking. Within the first 24 hours without water, you will feel thirst, dry mouth, fatigue, and dizziness. By 48 hours, your heart rate increases, confusion sets in, and your body may stop producing sweat altogether. That last part is critical. When you stop sweating, your core temperature can spike dangerously, and heat stroke becomes a real possibility. Your urine color is one of the simplest indicators you have. Light yellow means you are doing okay. Dark yellow or amber means you are already behind. If you have stopped urinating entirely, you are in serious trouble. Now, finding water. Forget the Hollywood version where the hero stumbles onto a crystal-clear spring. In reality, you have to read the land like a map. Water flows downhill and follows the path of least resistance. Look for ravines, gullies, dry creek beds, and low points in the terrain. Even if a creek bed is bone dry, dig down a foot or two at its lowest point, and you may hit damp sand. Wait, and water will often seep into the hole. This is called a seep well, and it is one of the oldest water-finding techniques humans have used. Vegetation is your next clue. Patches of green that look denser or darker than the surrounding landscape often signal water beneath the surface. Specific trees are reliable indicators. Cottonwood trees, willows, and cattails almost always grow near water. During the early exploration of the western United States, groves of cottonwoods were used as markers for water sources in otherwise dry country. In coniferous forests, a cluster of deciduous trees like aspens can point toward a spring. An inverted V-shape of aspens on a hillside sometimes marks where groundwater is emerging. Animals will also guide you. Watch grain-eating birds like pigeons in the early morning and late evening. When they fly straight and low, they are heading toward water. When they hop between trees and rest frequently, they have already had their fill. Converging game trails often funnel toward a watering hole. Bees are another dependable sign, typically staying within a few miles of water. But what if there is no stream, no creek bed, and no obvious source? You still have options. Morning dew can be collected by tying an absorbent cloth around your ankles and walking through tall grass before sunrise. Wring the cloth into a container and repeat. It is tedious, and the volume is small, but in a survival situation, every ounce matters. A more effective technique is the transpiration bag. Wrap a clear plastic bag around a leafy branch of a non-poisonous tree, making sure the branch gets direct sunlight, and seal it tightly. Over the course of a day, the leaves release moisture through a natural process called transpiration. That moisture condenses on the inside of the bag and collects at the lowest point. A large bag on a good branch in full sun can yield up to about 500 milliliters in a day. Set up several, and you can gather enough to keep going. The water produced this way is generally clean because the plant's cells naturally filter contaminants as moisture moves from roots to leaves. Once you have water, you need to make it safe. The U.S. National Park Service and the CDC are clear on this. Never drink from a natural source without treating it first, no matter how clean it looks. Clear water can still carry giardia, cryptosporidium, bacteria, and viruses that will cause diarrhea and vomiting, which will dehydrate you even faster. Boiling is the gold standard. According to the CDC, bringing water to a rolling boil for 1 minute kills all common waterborne pathogens, including viruses, bacteria, and parasites. At elevations above 6,500 feet, extend that to 3 minutes. If you do not have a metal container, you can heat rocks in a fire and drop them into water held in a non-flammable vessel. A technique called stone boiling that has been used for thousands of years. Chemical treatment with iodine or chlorine dioxide tablets works too, though these require 30 minutes to 4 hours of contact time, depending on the product, and will not reliably kill cryptosporidium without filtering first. Here is the hardest truth in wilderness water procurement, and experienced survival instructors like Les Stroud and Jesse Krebs agree on this. If your choice is between drinking untreated water or dying of dehydration, drink the water. More people have died in the wilderness from refusing dirty water than from the illnesses that dirty water causes. You can treat giardia with medication after rescue. You cannot treat death. That said, always treat your water when you have any means to do so. The point is not to be reckless. The point is to understand the hierarchy of risk. If you are heading outdoors, carry at least 2 methods of water purification. A portable filter and chemical tablets together weigh almost nothing and cover each other's weaknesses. Know how to read the land for water before you need to. Practice these skills on a day hike, not during an emergency, because the moment your water runs out, the clock starts, and it does not pause while you figure things out.